Syracuse football sat out practice yesterday after concerns about playing during the coronavirus pandemic. This is the third time the team has done this in little more than a week. The team is testing players every other week, but will test twice weekly during the season. Now, I'll admit, as we bring Heather Dinich back into our conversation here, and we've got Paul and Rob with us as well. Heather, when I first read this story yesterday, it didn't seem to me that it could possibly be true. Testing players every other week at a time when we're talking about these incredibly rigorous protocols and making sure everyone is safe at all times. How uniform are the testing protocols right now if one program is testing their players every other week?
Well, the conference is one thing that they have been trying to work on is uniform testing policies, but that is extremely difficult to do because of what we're seeing throughout the country in terms of testing availability and turnaround time. Greenie, it's literally varying campus by campus, and at Syracuse, it's a unique situation because it's a private school, so they don't have to release publicly their testing numbers. And athletic director John Wildhack has said that because if the players asked to, they are going to test them twice during the season. But when you go all the way out to the West Coast, you're talking about an entirely different situation, which is a big reason they're not playing football in the fall. It's because the testing at each campus varies so drastically in terms of the accessibility of it and the turnaround time. I woke up to a tweet this morning from the West Coast from Stanford saying that they are going to online courses and they're not welcoming undergraduates onto campus. That's the reason these university presidents are making these decisions about football. It's because they're making those decisions about their campuses, and so much of it is based on these testing.
So, Paul, are we getting the sense, and there's a similar story involving Florida State. It's not similar, but it's along the same vine. I'm not going to get to it now because I'm going to run out of time. But, Paul, I mean, if these players don't have total faith and confidence in the direction they're getting from the adults who are in charge here, then what? Then where are we?
Well, we're nowhere, Greenie, and we're not going to have football if that continues. I mean, the idea that players at Florida State and at Syracuse are calling out the people who are in charge. I mean, the athletic director at Syracuse, the president, the head football coach, these are the people that parents entrust for their players, their kids' safety, and the young players are saying that's not enough. I mean, that's how ridiculous this situation is right now, and that's why I think the ACC is where you need to focus a lot of attention on. This is two schools right now, and there was a problem at Pittsburgh as well, Greenie, that they can't even get it right. How are we going to have a season if they're testing every other week? I mean, that is one of the most incredibly stupid things I've ever heard. And I hope more players will speak out because it's important to know what's really going on because the adults are not telling the truth.
Rob Ninkovich, you have said that you would play through a circumstance like this, but I would assume you would have to have total faith and confidence that you were being cared for as best as was as conceivably possible. What do you think of this?
Yeah, look, it's tough to try and figure out what college athletes are thinking right now. Their hopes and dreams are to try and play a season to where they can be looked at and go on to the NFL. So, you know, for you to tell an 18, 19, 20-year-old person that, hey, they're not going to have a football season, I think it's upsetting to them. And they want to play, but at the end of the day, these universities have to not look at their bottom line because we all know that football here is the biggest moneymaker for all these universities that help float the rest of their athletic programs. So they're trying to put that bottom line in front of the health and safety of the players. I think that is the worst case that they can do. And look, you have to listen to the doctors and the medical people out there. They know the most about this. And right now it doesn't look good.
Look, if they're going to try and play, which I'm not here to tell them that they should not, then they must move heaven and earth in every conceivable way to make sure that they are putting the safety and health of these players first and foremost. Otherwise, not only is it impossible to play, but it is completely inappropriate. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.